What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. I'm doing Redbreast 12-year-old. Alright? This is a Irish whiskey, spelt with an E because that's the way the Irish spell it. It's single pot still with a mash of malted and unmalted barley. I was lucky enough to do the 21-year-old around St. Patrick's Day. I think it was actually released on St. Patrick's Day of 2017. So you can go back and check that one out. I'm really liking the 12-year-old. I'm not, for the price, I wasn't as crazy about the 21-year-old as I am about the 12-year-old, which is much cheaper. This one goes for about $80 at the LCBO, but you can get it for much cheaper in the US and in Europe. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this one really quickly, and then I'm going to also record my Redbreast cask strength review, which I was lucky enough to pick up the heel of a bottle from my good friend, longtime YouTube commenter on every one of the whiskey channels, Peter White. We usually trade samples and sometimes half bottles or heels of bottles, and he was nice enough to give me the Redbreast cask strength 12-year-old, this Glenlivet Guardian's Chapter limited edition, which is bottled at 48.7%, as well as a couple samples, and he gifted a full bottle of Amador bourbon. All right, this is not a straight bourbon, but it is a Kentucky bourbon because it's double barreled, and one of the barrels is Napa Valley wine barrels. So one of the types anyway. So I'm really excited about this because I've never tried it. I heard good things. We'll see what that's like. Thank you very much to Peter White. You're a stand-up guy, great guy. And the last shout out goes out to my Toronto Maple Leafs. Today they had an afternoon game. They wore their Toronto Arena jerseys. They won 8-1. It was a fantastic game. My students and I got to watch some of it together, and then they went home and I watched the rest of the game because it started at 2 o'clock and school's out at 3 o'clock where I'm from. So typical Irish whiskey, on the nose, very fruity, lots of different types of tropical fruit. There's a combination of oak casks used for this one. It doesn't say anywhere on the bottle that it's natural color. I'm gonna assume there might be a little bit of added color to that. All right, but I could be wrong. This one is chill filtered and is bottled at 40%, the standard Redbreast 12-year-old. Very easy to drink. Okay, this is definitely a beginner whiskey in my opinion. It's pleasant, it's fruity, not overly sweet, but has a nice sweetness. There's a little bit of oak in there as well. One more sip. This is the kind of whiskey that sneaks up on you. It's too easy to drink. Also because of the bottling at 40%. I wonder what this one would have been like around 46%. The nice thing is I'll get to try it at cask strength, pretty much side by side. I will be recording it right after I record this one, but I will be releasing the cask strength video most likely tomorrow. Okay. Just the month of December is 3 videos a week, and then I'm gonna go back to my 1 to 2 videos a week. I can't keep this up because although there's lots of whiskey back here, this whiskey all costs a lot of money, so I want to kind of slow it down come the new year. But now till New Year's Eve, it'll be pretty crazy because I have a whole bunch of reviews as well as my whiskey of the year, which I plan to release sometime either this weekend or early next week. Okay, so hopefully either, like I said, this Saturday, which is the 23rd, or if I can't make it by this Saturday, I'll be doing my whiskey of the year review, hopefully released on the 26th, 27th, the latest. But we'll see. I don't really tend to stick to a schedule around here just because of the craziness of having 2 very young kids and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. My full-time job, my other part-time job as a kickboxing instructor, and of course this. So lots on the go. One more thing before I taste this one more time and give it a mark. Another fantastic subscriber gifted a lot 40 cask strength to me. Now, he knew that I had it and that I had a backup of it, but the reason he did it is he thought it would be a good idea to use as a giveaway for the channel. So him and I are coming up with a few different ways to do that giveaway. I want him to have some say in the matter because it's only right. He donated it to the channel. So Bill, you're an awesome guy. Really appreciate you doing that, and I'm sure whoever ends up with this bottle will also really appreciate it. Okay? Stay tuned for that. I will give you guys the information. Don't panic, I haven't released anything yet. Hopefully I'll get to that in the new year. So look for me to post a video on either the 2nd of January or the 3rd of January, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm going to do with that. All right, enough of the babbling. I tend to do that from time to time. Really nice nose. I definitely think there's a huge ex-bourbon cask influence on this because of the vanillas, the custards. There's probably a little bit of Oloroso sherry. I know that the 21-year-old has a lot of Oloroso sherry influence, but this one might only be ex-bourbon. If it's ex-bourbon, then that's definitely natural added color, but it's really nice. Mango, pineapple for sure. Vanilla, a little bit of apple maybe. Some nice oak spices as well. All right, that's probably an A- for me. I would say low 80s, probably around an 80, 81. The only reason it gets such a low mark is because it's bottled at 40%. And I think it would be a lot better if it was bottled at least 43%, just because the finish doesn't last very long. It's smooth and it's nice, but it's not over complex. But overall, it's a nice whiskey. I think if I had to mark this as a noob, as a person that never tried a multitude of whiskey before, I think I'd mark this a lot higher. For an entry-level type whiskey, this is perfect. Okay, so don't take that A- as a negative thing. That's not a negative thing. Okay, it's definitely a really good entry-level whiskey in my opinion. Okay, so that's the Redbreast 12-year-old bottled at 40%. Stay tuned, guys. This is going to be awesome. I have a lot of stuff coming up, and I think you're really going to like it. Cheers.